It looks like GloRilla might be facing some serious legal drama once again, and this time, the situation is personal. Word on the street is that Big Glo allegedly aimed some threats toward none other than Yo Gotti's own mother. Yes, you heard me right, Yo Gotti's mama. And if these rumors are true, the consequences could be career-shattering. Let's break this down from the top, because the streets are on fire with this story right now. Before we even get into the details of these alleged threats, let's rewind for a minute and set the stage. GloRilla has been one of the biggest breakout artists in hip-hop over the past few years. From the moment FNS dropped, she went from being a Memphis hometown star to one of the most recognizable female rappers in the game. She's collaborated with some of the hottest names, shut down stages at major festivals, and brought a new raw energy to the industry that fans love. But at the same time, Glo has found herself caught up in headlines that don't always shine the best light on her. Whether it's drama with her team, viral videos of her speaking her mind, or even that highly publicized arrest not too long ago in Georgia, her name has become linked with controversy almost as much as it has with hit records. And now, if the rumors are to be believed, she could be looking at another legal storm, this time for allegedly threatening Yo Gotti's mother. Now, here's where things get interesting. Yo Gotti isn't just any rapper. He's a Memphis legend, a businessman, and the head of CMG, one of the most powerful labels in the South. His roster includes names like Moneybagg Yo, ESTG, Mozzie, and of course, at one point, he's been connected with GloRilla herself. That's right, Glo was once seen as part of the CMG wave, repping for Memphis under Gotti's shadow. But when money, fame, and egos mix, relationships can sour quickly. And apparently, behind the scenes, there's been tension brewing between Glo and certain people in Gotti's circle. What started as small disagreements over money, contracts, or respect might have escalated into something way more personal. And according to whispers in the industry, it all boiled over when Glo allegedly made threats aimed at Yo Gotti's mother, a line that most would say should never, ever be crossed. Think about this for a second. In hip-hop, beef between artists is nothing new. Rappers have been trading bars and diss tracks for decades, and sometimes things spill out into real life. But when you bring family into it, when you mention someone's mama, especially a figure as respected as Yo Gotti's mother, that's a whole different level of disrespect. It's one thing to call out an artist directly, it's another to drag in the people who didn't sign up for the spotlight. That kind of move doesn't just stir up drama, it can lead to real consequences both in the streets and in the courts. And if authorities believe that Glo's alleged comments cross the line into harassment or threats, then legally speaking, she could be facing new charges on top of everything she's already been through. Let's not forget, GloRilla was just recently in the headlines for legal trouble when police raided her home in Georgia. That case, involving drug possession charges, is still making its way through the courts. Now imagine being in the middle of that battle and then suddenly having new allegations surface about making threats against someone like Yo Gotti's family. That's the kind of situation that could lead a judge to take things more seriously. If the court feels she's not learning her lesson, or if prosecutors believe she's showing a pattern of behavior, they could push for harsher penalties. And let's be real, judges don't play when it comes to threats of violence, even if they were just words in the heat of the moment. Now let's talk about the Memphis connection, because this is where things get really layered. Memphis is one of the most important cities in hip-hop culture right now, and it has a long history of rivalries, tragedies, and street politics spilling into the music industry. We all remember the loss of young Dolph and the way his beef with CMG became one of the most talked about topics in rap. Memphis has always been a city where the music scene is tied closely to real life, and because of that, words carry heavy weight. If people in Memphis start believing that Glo disrespected Yo Gotti's mother, that's not just rap beef anymore. That's breaking one of the biggest unspoken rules of the game. And people in the city are already speculating about what this could mean for her career and even her safety. On one hand, you have GloRilla, the young star with everything to gain, but also everything to lose. On the other, you've got Yo Gotti, the veteran mogul with decades of respect, millions of dollars in business ventures, and deep connections in the industry and the streets. For someone like Glo to allegedly throw shots at Gotti's family is being seen by many as biting the hand that once fed her. And let's not forget, Gotti has always been known for handling business smart. If these threats turn into an actual legal matter, you better believe his team of lawyers and connections could make sure that Glo faces consequences. But here's the big question, are these threats real, or is this just another rumor spiraling out of control on social media? We all know how the internet works. One comment, one screenshot, one out-of-context video can turn into a full-blown story overnight. Some fans are saying Glo is just venting. Others are swearing she crossed the line and actually named Yo Gotti's mother directly in her outburst. At this point, we don't know what's fact and what's speculation. But in the court of public opinion, the damage might already be done. And if law enforcement gets involved, even if it was just words said in anger, that could turn into something much more serious. Social media has already gone crazy with the story. Twitter threads, TikToks, and Instagram lives are all buzzing with takes on the situation. Some fans are calling Glo reckless, saying she needs to chill before she throws her whole career away. Others are defending her, claiming the media is just trying to paint her as the villain again. Either way, the conversation has put her right back into the spotlight, and not for the music. And in this business, once the headlines shift from your talent to your troubles, the labels, sponsors, and industry insiders start backing away quick. So what happens if this situation escalates? Let's say authorities decide to investigate. If there's evidence, whether it's a recording, a social media post, or witness testimony, then Glo could be facing charges like harassment, intimidation, or even making terroristic threats, depending on how the law sees it. And because she's already tied up in another case, prosecutors could argue that she's a repeat offender. That could mean no bail, harsher sentencing, and the possibility of actual jail time. For a star whose career is just hitting its prime, that would be devastating. Imagine going from rocking Rolling Loud stages to sitting in a cell because of something you said about someone's mom. That's the level of risk we're talking about right now. And that's the sad part. Glo has the potential to be one of the biggest artists of her generation. She's already proven she has the music, the energy, and the fan base. But in hip-hop, we've seen this story too many times. Talent alone doesn't protect you from the consequences of your actions. If she can't control her temper, if she keeps finding herself in legal drama, then she might end up as another cautionary tale of an artist who had everything and lost it all too fast. So here's where we stand. The streets are saying GloRilla might have crossed a line by allegedly threatening Yo Gotti's mom. If true, this could spiral into legal issues and career setbacks that she does not need right now. But until more concrete details come out, we gotta take this with a grain of salt. Still, the fact that her name is even attached to this kind of story is a red flag. Glo needs to focus on the music, the money, and the future, because if she keeps walking down this road, it could end with her back behind bars. But I'll leave it right there. What do y'all think? Did Glo really take it too far? Or is this another case of the internet exaggerating the situation? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you're rocking with the channel, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on hip-hop's biggest stories.